I'm excited to show you the major improvements to the overall schedule printing. So you'll notice this download button that we've always had here gives you many options for exporting the schedule. The top three here are different schedule views that they can print out. And so you'll notice we have the look ahead, we have the work plan, which we've reworked both of those recently, but now full schedule. By popular customer demand, we've added many major new features to this. So I'll click on that there. You'll notice here we have the ability to hide or show different phases. No problem, like we've had before. You can also show certain ranges of time or show just from the log line ahead a certain number of weeks. For the sake of this demo, I'll just show the whole schedule. And on the paper, you notice we have many different sizes here. I was on ARC E, which is huge. Maybe I'll go down to ARC D. Maybe I'll even show 11 by 17. Starts to get a little less legible there. But hey, I could always make it show like 2 pages by 2 pages, or maybe 2 by 1, or looks like I went by 5 there, didn't I? And you have a lot of, you can control the grid. So before we really restricted like the sizes you could print to, but now we're just letting you decide how big you want it, whether you want it portrait or landscape, but it's up to you to make this thing look good. We can show headers on just certain pages. I always like to show it on every page, but if you're, if you just want to have it on one, I guess here I'm only showing one page. For the logos, you have company and additional logo. These can be loaded at the project level or the enterprise level for those who are enterprise customers. And they'll show up along the top here. Looks like I don't have any loaded on this project. And then you have project details that you can include. I'm going to jump over to the layout tab really quick. So the legend, that's one of the big elephants in the room here. So traditionally we've had this ability to put the legend on the right. You can have it overlap the schedule on the right. Throw it on a separate page if you want, or just don't show the legend and just let the task descriptions cover you. For this case, I'm going to make the legend overlap, and I'll show you some cool things we can do with that. I'm going to jump down here to the font sizes. So notice here I can get very specific with how big I want the fonts to be for both the schedule and for the legend. Or I can just say make the fonts so big that they fill the entire page and just exactly fill the page. So you have that neat, clean option there. I'll dial it back a tiny bit because that looks nice. And then the date scale. Right now we're showing by week. You can go crazy granular with day. If this was a bigger sheet of paper, if I had more wide, I could just show by month. I'll just stick with and quarter and year as well, but I'll stick with week on that. And the zone column width. So we have a few presets there: narrow, standard, wide, or custom. And with most of our customers in the US, we really stick with the imperial system. I know it's shameful, and I look forward to moving on to metric someday. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm jealous of those who are in the metric system. I can choose those widths to whatever I want them to be. All right, 12 inches is a little crazy. Let's go 2. And then I can show the task code. I can turn that off so it shows the task names. I can show, all sorts of different options there. I'll just show the task name by itself. And on this one, with these descriptions being so low, I could either reduce the font size, which kind of makes some good sense here, or I can just print it wider, which would really help with that. I can have empty zones, which we don't have any in this case that are showing up. Pinned links. So these are links that are going to permanently show on the print as well. So you can create pinned links in the schedule, and they show up here. If you're printing a big mosaic and some of the pages are blank, this will make those not show up. I can include the days off, the slivers of time where nothing's happening. But let's get on to this legend here. So we can align it to the top of each phase, each legend portion, or the bottom. We can show it as the list like we have now. And if we do, I'd put 2 columns on that, or maybe even 3 columns to see how that looks. Or one of my favorites now is this new wrapped functionality. So this is a big feature that people have been asking for. Is if I double tap on the schedule, I'm just gonna clear those really quick, I can now move my legend around. Boom, mind's blown, right? And I can even resize the legend. So Yeah, this deserves to be a little bit wider. Well, that's a pretty big, that's a lot of legend going on there. I'm going to do the same with this one here. In Kazaa, I've got legends that I can really customize a lot more. If you have company codes loaded in, you can organize your schedule by company. It'll show the company for each set of categories in the legend, which it looks like this one may have that, so perfect. I'll just show them by task. And then and that'll make sense on larger prints. So if I was to, I probably should print this thing at a bigger page size or multiple pages, but I'm committed this far. So on the display, I can show the phase names if I want them on that legend. I can show the task codes. And I kind of like seeing those appear in those, especially if you're showing task codes on those tasks. And then I can even show the default subtasks to go with them. If you have a fewer tasks or a bigger view that you've done. This wrap schedule feature is an interesting one people have asked for. So if you have a really long, skinny schedule, you can grab this. Let me just get these out of the way. And you can allow it to get your entire schedule, go through, wrap around, and you can even go multiple times. Let's see if I break it by doing 3 times now. So way to schedule longer ones. You can even show more granular time scale if you want to go that route with it. But I will take the wrap schedule feature off for now. To escape this editing mode here that I'm in, notice I can now zoom. I just asked for that feature and developers delivered it really quickly. To be able to take a closer look at how the schedule is going to print out. Once I'm done with that, I can hit done. I just can't stand watching this thing on that size of paper, so I'm going to just make it on ArcD just to show you, what's possible. So like if I was to print an ArcD size, I'd be able to see the entire descriptions. But anyway, you can do all sorts of things with this. You have a lot of flexibility, and I'm looking forward to everyone having this incredible functionality.